What's going on, YouTube? Trying to grow myself a little beard. Followers who've been following for quite a while will know that I used to have a big bushy black beard. What's going on, YouTube? My name's Satch. Welcome to Driver 81. This is my Porsche Cayman 987 in cobalt blue. It's a 2006 Cayman S, and I've got a slightly worrying day ahead of me today. Today is the day of the annual test. In order for the car to remain legal and drive legally on the roads here in the UK, we need to pass what's called an MOT test. So that's what I've got to do today. Now, this channel is paired up with carfinancedeals.com. I'm going to put the link to carfinancedeals.com in the description below this video. What will you get from carfinancedeals.com? Well, you'll get a 98% approval rate. You can buy from any trusted dealer. You'll get your own personal advisor. They have no deposit options, no broker fees, and a super fast decision. So check them out, carfinancedeals.com. An old Norwegian proverb once claimed that if you subscribe to the Driver 81 YouTube channel, you won't get eaten by a shark. So with that in mind, please like, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you're notified every time one of my videos goes live. So it's the day of my annual MOT. It's called an MOT in the UK. It's probably called something else elsewhere in the world. Like, I know, for example, say in LA, I think they've got what's called a smog test. It might be different for different states around the USA. I'd be very interested to hear what you call it, if indeed you do have one of these tests, a yearly roadworthy test in your location. Please hit me up in the comments below and let me know what your test is called. So I hope you'll stay with me for the duration of this video, and we'll find out if I can continue to use this car for the rest of the year in a legal manner, of course. Now, the test in the UK costs about £50, and I don't want to risk having to retest the car for the car to fail on stupid little things. So I want to make sure that I give the car as good a chance as possible of passing the test. Obviously, there are lots and lots of checks that the MOT testers will do on the car to make sure it is roadworthy. Now, I can't undertake all of those tests myself, but there are a few basic things that you can do on your own to make sure or give your car a fighting chance during that test. And let's go and take a look at those things right now. So the first thing we're going to look at is the lights. So make sure all of the lights are turned on, and then we'll just really do an inspection around the car. Or in fact, what I'll also do is turn on the hazard lights, make sure all of the hazards are working. So they're working. Those lights, they're all working. I'm not sure how well you can see that there. They're all working. That's working. And then we come on the back. They are on. You probably can't see it, but I can see it. And that. And then obviously we need to do a brake light check as well. So I don't have the luxury of anybody with me, so I'll just rely on that other camera. And then we'll press the brake lights. Brake lights, not accelerator. So I'm assuming they are both on now. And that's basically it for the lights check. Oh no, it's not. And then also, actually, we need to check the number plate lights. One there, one there. The front one doesn't have one, but the rear does. Alright, next up we're going to start the exhaust. We're going to be listening for any blowing, any air blowing out, or any sort of clamps or holdings or fixings that are rattling and shaking around that shouldn't really be there. So we'll start the engine and listen out for that. absolutely fine. This exhaust does benefit from a new Carnival exhaust that we put on, so we didn't expect there to be any troubles there, but it's always worthwhile just checking. Right, next up is the tyres. So we're just really going to make sure all of the tyres have got good tread on and they're evenly worn. These front tyres, they're okay. They'll certainly pass an MOT. I think the limit is 1.6 millimeters, so anything less than that and you will be struggling. These tyres, you probably can't see any of that, but these rear tyres are really good. And making sure there's obviously nothing wrong with the tyre walls. The tyres in good solid condition, and I think these tyres are pretty good. Now, another really good idea is to actually check the previous year's MOT papers. If there were any advisories, or if there were any items on last year's MOT or last year's test which the MOT station believes that it might have been close to failing or maybe borderline, they'll show up on that sheet. So anything that was close to failing but actually passed, they'll show up, and the chances are those things will fail on the next year's MOT. So it's good practice to get those things sorted. Now, for this particular car, last year's MOT did show that there was a blow in the exhaust. There was an exhaust leak, a gas leak in the exhaust. So it didn't really matter too much because we put the Carnival exhaust on, and once we took the old exhausts off, we seen clearly where the exhaust leak was coming from. There was a few little holes dotted around the exhaust, and that's the reason why it was close to failing last year. But the holes weren't big enough to deem the car a total fail. Now, if the car does have any dashboard warning lights, we recommend the iCarSoft POR version 1.0. I'll put the link to this kit in the description below this video. But if you do have something like a check engine light, an ABS or a PSM light, an airbag light, the car will unfortunately fail its MOT. So it's worthwhile investing in one of these kits. As I say, I'll put the link to this kit below the video in the description. Final check before we get off to the MOT station is a braking test. So we're going to drive and we're going to press the brakes firmly, not so much as where we're going to cause an accident, but we're going to press the brakes to make sure we are getting a nice, even, firm braking. So what we're looking for is anything whereby the car sort of drifts to one side or is making any noises when we brake. So I'm going to brake now. A nice smooth braking. The steering wheel wasn't going to any one side, which is an indication that there is a problem. And one of the good things about the Porsche cars is that it's quite easy to do a visual inspection because all of these cars will have alloy wheels. If the car doesn't have alloy wheels, it's obviously a lot more difficult to give the brakes a good inspection. But really what you're looking for is any sort of serious brake disc scoring, or making sure that the pads have still got plenty of meat on them. Now, those are just the basic tests. There are a lot more tests that you can carry out on your car, but I really just wanted to make this a basic video. So now that those tests have all been done, it's time to get off to the MOT test centre. Wish me luck. So the car's in the garage now. The mechanic did say it may take 2 or 3 hours in order for them to complete the test, and they said they'd give me a call once it's been done. So I've got a few hours to kill now. I'm thinking I may just go to a cafe for a cup of tea somewhere, but I might also go for a short ride in the 911. Fancy that? Come on then. get a tea to go, please. Aye. Aye, please. Hello? Yeah. Yep, Cayman, yeah. Right, okay. Okay, right. Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. Okay, right, thank you very much. See you soon, bye.